Start recording. Might as well do a new one while we're at it. Welcome, guys. I am The Directions, and welcome to my podcast. If you guys are on YouTube, thank you for being here. If you're on Spotify, thank you for being here. If you're anywhere else, go ahead and try to hit the like button below and comment where you're currently listening from. I literally have it labeled there under Spotify for podcasters. So, I try to claim all the titles for gaming beyond I could. So my dumb self managed to do the entire podcast with my microphone being plugged in. So I do apologize in advance, and we're gonna go ahead and shorten and redo this podcast essentially. So move the mic for myself better. All right. So starting with the stories that I've read over the past couple weeks. Again, that reminds me, I apologize for last week. I did not do a podcast. I was physically sick. Not only I was sick, the son was sick, and now currently the wife is sick. If you guys have been close to the family at all, that you know that's, or any family at all in general, if one person is sick, you are all sick. The wife claims it's hay fever because it's super hot outside. So, coming inside to like 60-degree weather messes up the nose really bad. And then not to mention, work is super dusty, outside is super dusty, and then you come home and you just kind of let it all out, essentially. I'm not too familiar on the specifics of hay fever, but I know it's a bitch. Anyways, so some of the articles that I read within the past week have kind of been from me trying to overdo the idea of like, hey, I'm probably not going to have a podcast this week, so I need to make sure I cover my butt. Originally, I wanted to script out a podcast and actually write down everything, so if I did mess up like I did today, I could just physically read the script and it not be a problem. Maybe do different inflectuations on certain words, or re-explain some other parts or things like that. But the thing about the last week's podcast is I originally wanted to do it with the wife. More or less that I would still be primary, but she would be like a co-host in the sense of that she puts in her input and conversation pieces on like, hey, this is what I think about that story, or this is, let me butt in and talk about this one time that happened that did that thing during a game, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, that's what I want. Come to think of it, I think I actually coughed a lot during this last recording. It's probably for the best. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about the articles. I'm gonna actually refrain from reading last week's articles because I'm not saying they are what they are, but they are scripted out. So I don't want to like interfere with the ideas that I was already talking about them. So this week's articles are kind of like on the foot of like, hey, things are happening, so there's articles about them. I do apologize in advance, but it's just some of these articles are just shit. Anyways, if you guys don't know, I am using the I think it's called Notes or News, part of the cell phone or the Galaxy phone. And so any articles that I have subscribed to or caught any interest in will show up during that page. And yeah, it's tailored advertising, but at the same time, it's things I can read about and bitch about later. With that being said, like if you talk long enough, you're just gonna cough your lungs out regardless, even if you're sick or not. Anyways, thank God for editing. Very minute, but it's still there. Anyways, so some of the things that I came across that I was reading was Call of Duty. So the new season is dropping here in August 1st. I don't know, I already clicked off of it, right? Nope. So bad. New season is going to drop August 2nd of this year. So there's going to be like 5 new guns, 5 new operators, 2 new events, 1 insurgents map. Again, this is just me speeding up the fact that I've already talked about this. But the key points that I wanted to talk about is not the guns or the insurgent map, but it's the operators, because they're bringing back Snoop Dogg. If you guys played Call of Duty Vanguard, they had Snoop Dogg in that, but now they're bringing it to Modern Warfare 2, which has a little bit more carry on all their games. Not only is Snoop Dogg coming back, they have Nicki Minaj and who's the other one? 21 Savage. I personally do not know who 21 Savage is. I don't listen to rap. I don't listen to music like that. I'm sure I've heard of him. Kind of like the whole, like, I know who Drake is, but I don't like listen to all his stuff. But yeah, so 21 Savage, Nicki Minaj, and Snoop Dogg. There is going to be an event of like a musical, like, I'm not going to say it's iHeartRadio, but it's something to like music industry pushing on Call of Duty awareness BS. So I already saw like the event page for it forever ago, but I couldn't find it for the podcast, so meh, I'm not too worried about it. A lot of the things that we're talking for the DMZ updates and the insurgents maps are about the same time, so I assume it's going to be roughly the same event structure that they have for the boys, but just music, you know. Also, there was some backlash with the 2009 Modern Warfare 2. Apparently there was, I don't know how old this article that I came across was, but now it was literally posted July 27th. So why you post this now? I feel like this is old news. So there was a hacker that infiltrated the Call of Duty players with self-spreading malware. Essentially, there was a scripted code inside of the 2009 hacked lobby multiplayer that would infest other people, that would kind of spread like a worm. If you know anything about hacking or malware and like that, if one person gets it, you all get it, kind of like the family sickness. But essentially, malware can be broken down to different categories, and one of the most common ones that I like to use as an example is keylogging. I understand that I'm probably mumbling at this point, so the word I said is keylogging. So you type something, they know what you typed. A lot of times this is used to help track credit card information, debit card information, home addresses, cell phone numbers, things like that. Things that you wouldn't think that you would have done. Do you mind? Or things that you've done or not, basically, and they would use it not against you but against you, in the sense of they would take your credit card information, buy things, and blah blah blah. But that's the most common. But the fact that this article was written within the past week, kind of just like the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was not structurally sound, if that was the case, because I remember this article came back probably back when Call of Duty Ghosts came out. Like, they were having still, and again, I want to emphasize that this is all on PC, so people are infecting other people by just logging into their home lobbies, and these home lobbies, they have full control. They have your IP, they have their gaming IP, unless you do NordVPN BS, which I don't see good gaming servers on that shit. Anyways, and it's very specific, but this one is, they touched lightly on this, and it was like, oh, Activision hasn't done anything about it, and it's just like, I feel like that we've run into this circle before. How are you re-reporting on shit that's already happened? I kind of trailed off on the last one from this story to the last, so the fact that the new season is dropping and a lot more people are going to get into it. But I also trailed off and said that the Activision settlement, or whatever it was called, the buyout, or however you want to say it, Activision has the ability to do basically put Overwatch, for example, onto Steam, and the purchase agreement, I think it was. So a lot more games are going to be coming to Steam that aren't locked to Blizzard, and it's going to be a little bit more open. So with that being said, a lot of the old original Xbox server lobbies, like Modern Warfare 2 from 2009, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, these servers are still live, and they apparently have faster load times to enter a match than the new Modern Warfare 2 does. And a lot of people are starting to boot up their old Xboxes or sell out Xbox Series X's just so they can play the original Black Ops 2 in order to play a good Call of Duty game that hasn't been over monetized on the daily. And I agree. I haven't done it yet. I know I own Black Ops 2 on the Xbox, purchased it with all DLC, I believe. So I might try to get it up on my Xbox and see what happens. I also don't have Xbox Live, but that's another story. So those are the two main stories. We'll follow by the activism by a settlement and season Dexter Warzone 2 Techno Crunch Cells. Yeah, no, I guess that's it. Could have sworn I had other stuff. I have some honorable mentions, like apparently there's a new Final Fantasy 14 7.0 expansion, free games on Epic, which is ESO, which I've been playing. Oh, well, I haven't played, but it was nice to log in and actually see that some of my original characters were on there. Honkai, still need to get onto that. How long Diablo 4 Season 1 Battle Pass takes to complete? I am curious on that. So I use Forbes. A lot of Forbes articles are on here for me. IS1 basically says you would rather purchase the Battle Pass than actually grind it because it would take too long because of the XP is not worth it. What else? Some of the games I've been playing, just to reminisce about these things that I've been doing. Cyberpunk 2024, 2077 is still trying to push their Phantom Liberty. DFO Dungeon Finder Online has finally released a new character in the past. It's been about 5 years since they've released a new character. I wouldn't say awakenings, but physical characters are brand new to the roster. They have 18 characters, and this 18th character is a bow character, which is not uncommon, but they have an events to hit max level within a couple hours, and I managed to do it within those few hours. And then Destiny 2 has their new Solstice event that's been happening for the last couple of weeks that I'm super behind on. And then that's basically it. I would say it covers some Apex news, but I haven't been playing enough to actually say anything about it. I also wanted to cover on this day, which apparently I freaking turned off or closed out of all my games that I shut down. On this day, not a whole lot came out. Some of the games were mainly can I do Control-Shift-T? Oh my god, they showed up. So on this day, back on July 21st, the main games that came back that were the epiphany of back in 1995 to 2000 were like Mario Tennis for the N64, King's Field for the PlayStation, Castlevania Dracula X for the Super Nintendo. These are games that were like launch titles for some of these things. Limbo came out 13 years ago on the Xbox 360. Although it was one of the first arcade games I definitely enjoyed on top of that. One of the games that are listed on here, it says it came out 6 years ago in 2017, was Fortnite. And this came out on July 21st. It was basically last Friday for us. Not to mention Pikmin 4 that just came out this year, and Remnant 2 that also came out last Friday. Some of the other games I did want to... July 22nd, Metal Gear Solid 2 Solid Snake for the MSX 33 years ago. Didn't think that Metal Gear's been going on that long, but yeah, Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy from 29 years ago. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, new and tasty 9 years ago for the PlayStation 4. And then Bleach Brave Souls, it's an Android game, came out 8 years ago in 2015. Calamari Forever, PlayStation 3, 14 years ago. Series Sam collection for the Xbox 360 10 years ago. These are other dates, by the way. The Ant Bully for GameCube, PC, and PlayStation 2 came out 17 years ago in 2006 on July 24th. Some of these are just kind of like meh. I didn't really like pay attention to some of these, playing them or like anything like that. Let's see what else. Catherine on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 came out 12 years ago. I remember playing this game and it was definitely a mind fuck. Digimon World 2 for the PlayStation 23 years ago. Mario Hoops 3-on-3 for the DS 17 years ago. I feel like there was a lot of like DS and 3DS and like Game Boy Advance like surges around the 2000s. It was just like they were trying to push all the handhelds back in the day. The one game that did come out on July 28th/29th was NetHack 36 years ago. It's on PC. I have no information on it, but it was just just something. Croc 2, Mario Golf. A lot of these were all like 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And then you got like Grounded that came out 3 years ago, or Disney Illusion Island that came out this year. Actually, I think it's today. But yeah. That was basically it. I can't believe I actually was able to save that. What else? Damn. Well, the runtime is about the same. Anything else that's actually happened to me personally, life, all that fun stuff? Not really. Just sickness and getting over it. I do apologize for the podcast that did not show up last week. Next week should be better. If it's not the scripted one, it will be a different one, which I'm prepared for nothing, I guess. Yeah, no, that has pretty much covered literally everything I've been doing for the past week or so. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off here. If you guys enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you're on YouTube or any other platform that is not the original one that you're currently on, I do appreciate it in the first place. You can follow my social media that's gonna be in the link down below in the description. And yeah guys, have a good day. I hope you enjoy. Till next time.